On a map of the world, the Cape Verde Islands seem like no more than a few grains of sand, whipped up by a Saharan dust storm, blown by the trade wind across Senegal, and dropped in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Growing up on this tiny string of islands, 570 kilometers from the closest landmass, every boy dreams of what life must be like, somewhere over the waves. They dream because that's what boys on an island do. I know this because I was one of those boys, barefoot in the sand. I had those same dreams until I found kiteboarding. Kiteboarding has taken me all around the world, but now I want kiteboarding to show me my home. I've lived in Cape Verde my whole life, but I've never been to most of the islands, and it's time I did. I don't want to just catch a ferry or fly there. I want to visit them all using just my board, my kite, some supplies, and my 2 feet.
My mission is to connect all the Cape Verde Islands. It's around 740 kilometers just by sea. But then I'm gonna cross also the islands. So this is my mission. My name is Mitu Monteiro. Everybody know me from Mitu Monteiro. I'm from Cape Verde Islands, South Santa Maria. I'm a professional kite surfer. My discipline is more wave riding.
Stay hours there to watch him surfing the waves. He has style in what he did. I mean, there are plenty of good riders, but Mitu is kind of elegant when he do the maneuvers.
Mitu was one of the first one to really do like the surfers. Surfers do not have strap and they have more freedom on the board. So he really was the pioneer of that discipline. And everything looks so easy when he's doing every move that you think it's easy, but it's because he's doing it so well and so smooth.
There's only one thing kiteboarding's not well known for: distance. Windsurfers regularly travel huge distances, way out to sea. But kiteboarders stay close to shore. Very few kiters are trying long-distance voyages, and that's something I'd like to change.
What Mitu liked is pushing the limits. So, okay, I ride the best wave of the world. I have been one world champion. Now I need a new motivation.
Like a rider, I need some challenge, you know. So there is one point you arrive there and you need something new. And for me, this one was good because it's not my discipline. I don't know if I can make it or not.
Sailing from island to island like this has never been done before. If I can complete this circumnavigation, hopefully it will make everyone on the island feel a little closer together, more like a family. But I know I have some real challenges ahead. Firstly, I've never done big crossings in the middle of the ocean. This will be totally new for me. My biggest concern is the wind dying. If I'm in the middle of the ocean and the wind stops, then so do I. And the ocean here is very alive. It is one of the few places on Earth where both tiger sharks and great white sharks are known hunters. Many of the islands have huge volcanoes and mountains, which block the winds and cast big wind shadows at sea level. Knowing where to sail and where not to sail is critical. Also, I have to be very exact about where I start and finish each day. Cape Verde Islands are not like the sandy islands of the Caribbean. Our coast is lined with sharp volcanic rocks, not beaches. If I try to land in the wrong spot, the rocks will cut my kite. Or worse, they'll weaken my lines, only to have them snap when I am miles out to sea.
You are crazy. It's just the thing I tell him. You are crazy because the sea here is ocean. But I believe in him, so I know that if he wants to do that, it's because he knows that he can do that.
When Mitu said, I will do it, you don't have any problem. If he said, I will do it, he will do it.
I've chosen to do the longest leg first. 237 kilometers from Sal to San Antao. It's better to do the long crossing while I'm still fresh. If I leave this leg to the end, I know I'll be too exhausted by then. Right now, the world record for strapless kiteboarding is 172 kilometers in 6 hours. To make it to San Antao, I'm gonna have to break that world record. I've decided to not use special long distance gear, just my normal surfboard.
Okay, yep.
I want to focus on my discipline and test it in open waters. And most of all, I want to prove that we can do incredible things with simple tools. There is only just enough wind to make it out of the harbor. But once I'm in open ocean, the wind and the waves are perfect.
Outside, I see the wave, start to break, and then the wind was start to be more strong. For me, it was perfect because then I come in my world.
This is the first time I've ever been so far out. In a couple of hours, I can't see land at all. When I'm riding waves close to shore, I'm constantly changing direction and shifting my weight. But on this crossing, I'm locked in one position. All my weight is on my back foot, and it's absolute agony. I really don't know how I'm gonna cope with this for another 8 hours. I'm gonna have to detach mentally from this pain. After 6 hours, standing on one leg, it's completely numb. But seeing San Antao in the distance has got my adrenaline going. I've just got to hold on 1 or 2 more hours. I only realize just how sore my leg is when I try to walk. A few people are interested in the kite, but mostly, they just mend fishing nets. All they see is a guy hobbling up the beach. I talk to the kids, but it's all a blur. I'm so exhausted, I don't know what I'm saying.
What I want to do is just to sit down and relax a little bit,
I cannot imagine doing another 500 kilometers like I did today. It might be impossible. My leg and my back are cramping up. I'm not sure I'll be able to sail tomorrow. Maybe I'll have to walk to the other side of the island instead. It's only about 20 kilometers from here to Sal Vicente, but this wind is too light. I can't attempt it on a normal kiteboard. If these winds back off even slightly, I'll be stuck in the middle of the ocean. I'm going to try foil boarding instead. With my foil, I can make the crossing with just 10 knots of wind. Everything is dangerous about this crossing. This is a terrible place to start. A couple of kids on the beach to keep my lines off sharp rocks? What was I thinking? I'm new to foil boarding. I only started a month ago. It's really difficult to get going without straps.
a little bit scared because when you crash, the foil is still going one side and the kite push another side. You can have the fin on your head, and it's like a knife.
All these concerns disappear when I see another ocean voyager. Being so close to this beautiful humpback has made my day.
It's one souvenir I have just in my head.
Local kiteboarders have come out to greet me, and a crowd on the beach to welcome me to São Vicente. I was not expecting this. It's put me on a high to keep going first thing tomorrow morning. Today I'm hoping to make it to San Nicolau, but I want to stop at San Lucia along the way. I've never been there before, and I don't know many people who have. I may as well have landed on the moon. This is a nature reserve, so it's completely deserted and beautiful. Visiting places like San Lucia is the reason I started this trip, but there's no reason to overnight here. I'll keep going to São Nicolau, another 40 kilometers away. That's all I can do. At San Nicolau, I'm met by wonderful locals who invite me into their homes. This is the sort of hospitality you hope for, but never really expect. Every part of today has been a pleasure. I could do this forever, or as long as my legs will carry me. In my last 3 days, I've only covered 76 kilometers, but I'm exhausted. I've never really recovered from that first day. It's day 6. I'm trying to make it from São Nicolau to Boa Vista. This is my second long-distance crossing, 168 kilometers.
The difficult one was the first step, but it's like I say, every day you find a different situation.
Things start well, but half an hour into the trip, the wind dies. It's too far to swim back. I'm going to have to sit here, make sure my lines don't tangle, and pray that the wind picks up again. This is my worst nightmare. I know I'm an easy meal for a shark here. I'm trying not to think about it, but my mind is playing tricks on me. After 40 minutes, I'm sure I'm being watched. I start to talk to myself. I talk to the wind, trying to convince it to start blowing. I even start talking to the fish and tell them to keep away.
I don't want to stay here, too much big fish.
There's a puff, then a gust. I've never been so relieved to see ripples on the water. The pain in my leg is back, but I don't care. I'm just so happy to be up and riding. The next 120 kilometers fly by. The crowd on the beach at Boa Vista is even bigger than São Vicente. If only they knew just a couple of hours ago I was talking to the wind and the fish. If only they knew how scared I was.
Now I'm here in Boa Vista. Before I do the São Vicente was long, but this one was the biggest one I'll make it. So we'll see you tomorrow.
day 7, and my friend Joe has arrived from Sal. He wants to sail with me from Boa Vista to Mayo. Boa Vista is the driest of the Cape Verde Islands. It gets less rain than parts of the Sahara. It's virtually all desert. I need a break from sailing, so we borrow a couple of buggies to cross the island. The dunes are too steep. This is such hard work. The wind is not strong enough, and the sun is burning us. We have barely gone 12 kilometers, and it's taken all day. We are absolutely drained of energy. The next morning, the wind is up, so we are out of here. But I'm distracted. I'm thinking about Joe, hoping he's okay. I wanted to avoid these shallow volcanic rocks, but I wasn't concentrating, and we sailed right into the middle of them.
After 4 hours and a half fighting with the kite, with the wetsuit, long wetsuit, it was really hot, so all these things, I start to feel really sick, you know, and you can feel like my body start to go down. And then close to the end of the crossing, I start to vomit a lot.
I want to pass out. Joe is headed home, and I'm back where I should be, alone and headed for my next departure point. Walking across this salt is therapy compared to yesterday's vomiting nightmare. The salt is curing me. There is nothing to distract me here. This place forces me to focus on my voyage. I can't wait to get back on my board. So I steal 3 kilometers by sliding across the shallow tide pools on the beach. A few boys see me and beg to hitch a ride. How can I say no? Hey, one of them might be a world champion one day. Another 2 days of sailing and walking have gotten me to Terrafall, a small fishing village on the northern tip of Santiago. I sit here for 2 more days waiting for the wind to pick up.
I'm tired about this trip. It's too long, I spend a lot of time in the water, and also I miss my family, so I just want to finish to go back home because it's so hard, you know.
I push off Santiago and head for Fogo, the huge volcano way off in the distance. This is my 8th crossing for this trip so far, and I think it's the most dangerous. Fogo Island has almost no beaches, just steep cliffs with sharp volcanic rock. The wind is starting to die as I get close to shore there. And to add to that, this is the biggest swell of the trip so far. As I lose all power in my kite, I head towards the flattest looking coast I can see.
The kite just go down the water, I have some wave on my head, and then the board go to one side. I lost my sunglass. If I decide to go to other spots, I take too much risk, so I prefer just maybe swimming a little bit more to have no risk.
All my life I've heard stories about this island and the volcano. I can't leave without climbing to the caldera. Fuego erupted in 2014, and it's still rumbling. The closer I get to the caldera, the more I can feel the enormous energy of the volcano. This volcano created itself. It is its own master. It doesn't care if the wind is blowing or what the waves are doing. This place makes me and my kiting project feel very small. I didn't think anyone lived this close to the caldera. This guy is the only local who has returned after the last eruption. I respect his decision. This man has lost almost everything, yet he offers me his bike for my descent. He tells me to leave it outside the supermarket and he'll collect it next time he goes shopping. This is it, the home straight. I can't wait. This last crossing is short. I can see the island of Brava, just 30 kilometers away. But there isn't a breath of wind. I walk a few kilometers to the next bay to get out of the wind shadow of the island and get started. This crossing is an absolute joy. I even get to ride some swell. But I know there are problems up ahead. The harbor I'm aiming for will be totally protected from the wind. This wind has been both my friend and my foe for the last 12 days. Right on cue, the big cliffs block the wind again, and my kite falls like a lead balloon. This harbor is well known for being patrolled by sharks who follow the fishermen. Locals don't swim here, so I climb on my wing and paddle as fast as I can. I'm swimming at full speed as I approach the beach. My feet touch the black sand. It's pure happiness.
When I arrive there, I have a lot of people wait for me and they come talk with me. I think they say like, thank you to come here. Because for them it was really nice I arrived till Brava, you know, because not so much people go there.
I have to stop myself from crying. This is pure joy and relief. I haven't won any prize, and I don't know if I've set any world records. I just know I've done what I set out to do, and I'm the first to do it. I've never felt more proud to be a Cape Verdean than I do today.
It was my dream. I feel I do something for my country. I'm happy for this. I think everybody's happy. So it's a nice thing.